Samarambham Shankaracharyamathyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, let's start. Any questions, clarifications up to now? We saw the first 6 verses, I think, or the first 5 verses.
First 5.
Alata Shanti, yeah. First 5 we saw. All clear up to then? Okay, similar idea has been continued. Ajatasyeva dharmasya jatimichanti vadinah ajato hi amrito dharmaha martyatam katamishyati. Vadinaha. Here Vadinaha doesn't mean mere people who are talking. People who are disputing things, okay? People are from various schools of philosophies. They are disputing, he says. If you are talking about the cause as beyond the creation, and then there is a creation, then ajatasya eva dharmasya jatimichanti vadina. Then you are literally saying that which is beyond time and space is coming into time and space. In reality, not apparently. Therefore he says, ajato hi amurto dharmaha martyatam katamishyati. If something is really ajataha amrutaha, meaning free from time and space. Because when you say something is beyond creation, time and space are created entities, it has to be beyond time and space. Then when you say from that the creation has come, then you are making it under time and space. This is when you are talking about it as really coming, okay? Not like Advaitins talk about it as coming with mithya maya, manifestation, not that way. It's really created. Whether it is the pradhana of the Sankhyas, the Anu of Nyaya Vaisheshika, any school of thought, the moment you say something is beyond creation, and then that from creation has come from that, there is a contradiction there. Unless you say it's an apparent coming, it's not really coming, it's only an appearance, it's a mithya coming. Leaving out mithya, you can never talk about something beyond creation from where the creation has come. Is this point clear or not clear? I'm waiting for an answer. Clear or not?
Clear, Swami.
Huh?
Yes, Swami.
Clear?
It's clear.
Okay.
Yes, I have a different question.
Yeah, tell me.
Now, this verse, Karika 4.6, is just a repetition of 3rd chapter, 20th verse.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason?
No, here he is bringing it into the context of the whole topic. That's all. There it is a stray thing, here it is within that. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. Because the next two are also repetition of the 3rd Advaita Prakaranam.
Correct. There is repetition here, yeah. Because look at it.
So, more important.
Yeah, because it's important for emphasis. What is repetition meant for? In a writing, in a book or a dialogue? It's for an emphasis. Therefore, it is important. You are emphasizing it. Yeah.
Okay. Because there is no word change or anything. It is just
the same agreed. As it is repeated. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it is important. That's why if you say the reality is beyond creation, and because of whatever, it has become creation. It's a contradiction in terms. The only way to escape it is say mithya, maya, avidya. Because then the change is not real. Otherwise, every change you're talking about is real. That doesn't work. Okay. Then he says,
So Swamiji, when we borrow that idea that something real comes from something, that makes both of them finite, right?
exactly. Therefore, both
So
become
then-
finite.
So the big schools like Vallabhadi school and all, they all believe in this, no?
Correct.
Even Ramanuj and all.
They are all Dvaita schools. They are all Dvaita schools. Now, the problem that happens is you want to present Ishvara as absolute, which is fine. There is no way you can look at Ishvara unless you make him absolute. Then your theory of creation has to undergo modifications. Because, like for example, Vallabhacharya saying, God is also real, creation is also real. Creation is real because the body of God. It's Bhagavan's body. Now, if you take it literally, it's Bhagavan's body, then it becomes a changing entity. Then Bhagavan's body becomes finite. Then how are you going to present Bhagavan as infinite? Are you getting the idea, Sunita?
Yeah, that's what, because they are such big schools. And like I didn't know, but my whole childhood was like my parents have believed in Vallabhadi.
I know.
And I was not aware of it.
Correct. That's okay. You took it as a form of worship, which is fine. Any of these schools, when you take it as a simple way of relating to Ishvara as a form of worship, there is no problems. It's only when you go into the philosophical aspect and understand the reality, the understanding of moksha, then the whole thing changes. If you're taking Vallabhacharya's school as a form of worship, and this, no issues. Thoda overdo hota in some cases, but all right, not a problem. Yeah. So it's fine. That's why if it is just meant as relating to Ishvara, no problems. But if you're talking about realities, moksha, etc., then the problems start. Otherwise, they can all become like your Ishta Devatas, no issues. I prefer to see Ishvara like this, Ishta Devata. What's the problem? Yeah, Karthik, you have a question.
In fact, Swamiji, prior to coming to you and hearing from Pujya Swamiji, even in Advaita itself, a lot of Swamijis present Ishvara as Mithya.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Presenting Ishvara as a Mithya will be a problem because then you will also have to become Mithya.
Yeah.
Then what are we talking about?
I think Swamiji, you have put it earlier. Ishwaratvam and Jivatvam are Vidya, not Ishvara.
Oh, why
Yes.
do you even have to use the word Mithya for Ishvara? All you can say is the manifestation is Mithya. So the manifestation includes Ishvara's body, mind, etc., my body, mind, etc. That's why, remember the rule for interpreting. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaeva Na Aparaha. It has to be taken like that. Any other way of taking it will not work. Yeah. Then Anu had a question here before Mangala. Anu had a question.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yeah.
I understand the infinite argument.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking from a modern science perspective,
Yeah.
materialism, for example. What if they say, Ishvara or this, whatever, the ultimate reality.
Materialism does not have the idea of Ishvara, number one.
Ishvara, yeah. So, like, what if they say reality is very
They're still
large,
trying to find,
but not
in science, they're still trying to find the fundamental building block of matter. Because
Yeah.
science is materialistic in the sense that everything has come from matter. It
Yes.
has a different state of matter, but it's come from matter. Then the question is, they struggle with the question of consciousness. In science,
Yes.
consciousness is a product of matter. Then if
Right.
consciousness is a product of matter, a whole lot of issues come up,
yeah,
including the
so,
questioning the Big Bang and everything.
Yeah.
Because with an event, what is the event, what is the observer of that event, all those questions will come up.
Thank
So
you,
the-
Swamiji.
yeah.
I guess my question is the limitless nature then comes from Shastra, right? Because someone could argue that there is a reality that is very large and very diverse, but is
Yeah,
finite.
yeah, that is true. Because the arguments that supports the Shastra is this. Many arguments, but one of them can be this, that anything that is changing will become finite, however large it is. Therefore, the source of time and space cannot be a changing entity. Because when you are saying source of time and space, it is beyond time and space also. It cannot be affected by time and space. So that would be a very good supporting argument to show that it cannot be inert matter.
But that comes from the Shastra, right?
The
Because
Pramana is the
logic-
Shastra, and we have a lot of arguments to understand, support both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Swamiji.
not at all. Then Mangala had raised a hand before I come to
Yeah.
Sunita.
Somebody slightly different angle. Now, when you say that Mandukya Upanishad, you always read with Karika, right?
Hmm.
Now, people like the son Vishishta Dvaita, when Vallabhaji asked, then it struck to me, how do they do it? Or because he is talking about Ajada,
See,
how do they
no,
do it or they just ignore?
other schools will not accept the Karika, na? Because
Okay.
Karika is by an Advaitin.
Okay.
They will accept Mandukya, the Upanishad, but not the Karika.
Karika.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Karika is written by an Advaitin.
Yeah.
And they'll try to discredit it by saying he was
It's
a hidden Buddhist. So that is an attempt at discrediting.
Okay.
By saying he's outside the Shastra. Shastra Bhagya he is. That's an attempt. Yeah. Just because he borrowed some of the arguments. Now the question is whether he borrowed Buddhistic arguments or Buddhists borrowed our arguments. Because we are earlier than them anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Sunita, you have a question. Yeah?
If you take Shankara as BC,
Yeah.
then the Buddhists have borrowed from him because he is much before Shankara.
Yeah. True. And if you look at the Ramakrishna Mission publication of Shankara Digvijayam, there's a discussion about the possible dates of Shankara. Very nicely done. And Shankara could have gone up to 1st century BC. So quite a possibility of that. Very nicely presented, all the arguments are presented. Gathered from various sources, including Shankara Digvijayam and everything, and put together very nicely. I had a copy, I don't know where it has gone. My English books disappear and don't come back.
That is Shankara Vijayam.
Yes.
Of-
Madhaviya,
No,
Shankara Digvijayam.
Madhaviya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, coming back to the topic. Sunita, you have a question, doctor.
Yes. Swamiji, I have a question about Ishvara.
Yeah.
So, like, time beginning of humankind, the human race, like, so when the human beings were the first to evolve, the need for Ishvara. So, from where did Ishvara actually come? That the need to bank on somebody who is infallible. So, like at that time, it must have been thought that the creation is very real, the suffering is real, everything is limited, and that is what gave birth to Ishvara. Is this like how? Because see, when Advaita we say we are the same consciousness. So at one point we are all same. Then when humanity comes and the Jagat comes, then Ishvara means Ishvara comes into picture only when creation comes, right? So what was the need? Means the need for Ishvara came by the person realizing his finitude and limited thing, or how did it begin? I mean, I wonder many times that like when we go to different temples, you see Ganpati, you see Shiva, you see Rama and Hanumana, and also they are all different qualities and all. But finally, it is the same tattva. So the tattva is origin. So from this forms came by the meditation of the Rishi Munis and wherever the forms came from. How did it come? How did it evolve? And why did a human being feel a need for Ishvara? Because it's just a thought, like,
Yeah.
what
Fair enough.
made
Let me
us-
try to answer that briefly. See, when you say need for Ishvara, you're talking at the psychological level of human evolution. Purely psychological. But Ishvara is more than mere psychological. Ishvara is a fact mentioned in the Upanishad. The moment after Taittiriya Upanishad, for example, says Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam So Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Brahman is covered, Nirgunam Brahma. Then he says Tasmat Etasmat Atmana Akashadi Samputaha. The moment he says that, Ishvara has come into the picture. Because the same Brahman is now presented as Ishvara. Remember, the same Brahman that was talked about as the Atma is presented as Ishvara. So Ishvara is not a separate entity. At the most you can say Ishvara is a standpoint. Now this is factual with respect to creation. Then when you are talking about when was the human need, that is looking at it from the other standpoint. You are not talking about what the Shastra has revealed. We are talking about how humans are trying to evolve and understand that. Can you see the different approaches? Both have a validity because human beings in their evolution wondered at the creation and tried to attribute some causes to it. So, depending on the psychological maturity of the human being, you had different understandings of Ishvara at different points of time. Okay? You cannot include Vedanta in that historical understanding because Vedanta is a revelation. Other religions also claim as a revelation. But when you examine the Ishvara that is revealed there, it is psychologically compromised. Like the Bible is a revelation. Okay? Bible has got two versions, the Old Testament, New Testament. In the Old Testament, God is very harsh, judgmental, abusive almost. Why? Because that's how your psychological growth was that much only. You needed somebody to keep you on the straight and narrow path. Therefore, your understanding evolved like that. Islam, God alone knows what it is about. The New Testament of the Bible is a bit kinder. God is a loving father figure, etc. Where the Old Testament, you shall not keep any God before me. God is a jealous God. So can you see, it is depending upon the psychological maturity how the understanding of Ishvara evolved. Remember what I talked about long back, 6 stages of knowing God? 7th is God and I are one and the same. 6th is Ishvara, the cosmic order. These 2 stages are revealed by the Shastra. Everything else is human creation, experimentation, insights, understanding, experiences, etc. Therefore, for psychological growth, even Vedanta presents Ishvara as karma dikshaha, karma phala data, isn't it? So that from a reactive person, you can become more proactive, more accepting, that maturity can come in to understand Ishvara better. So that is a presentation. And the final understanding has to be Ishvara and I are one and the same as consciousness. Without that, any knowledge of Ishvara is incomplete. Even Ishvara as a cosmic order is incomplete. Because Tattvamasi still has to come. No? So until Tattvamasi is understood, your understanding of Ishvara is incomplete. That's why he is dismissive of all other thought patterns. We are saying this is all talking about unborn being born, like, what are you talking about? I know. I have seen some of these people who are in study groups and all talking like that. Janmashtami, the unborn is born today, as though they are making some great statement. Natak Baji, unborn is born today. That's why I am saying unborn is never born. Unborn is never born. What is born is changing, mithya. So in between, what is the reality? Reality and appearance. Reality, consciousness, world, appearance. The problem is, in understanding this, is we are so caught up in what we do, and we realize the importance of what we do in our lives. Though I accept we all waste a lot of time in our lives. Previously it used to be the TV, scrolling 1 to 500, 500 to 1. Now it is this. That's the only difference. Why? This is more convenient. Can carry it around. No? TV is fixed on the wall. And then some of those things like Hotstars, Geos, etc. you can see on your phone also. So you have a portable stuff. In spite of that, certain things you recognize as important in your life. Therefore, to see them as mithya becomes difficult. Here is where the reality and your psychological growth, there is a mismatch. So what is the way out of it? It's important. What I am saying here is very, very important in that sense. You have to recognize the fact that it is important to your life. Accept that fact. In your life it is important. Yes, accept. It is also mithya. Accept. Then immediately the question that will pop up in your mind, subconsciously at least, will be, how can something important be mithya? Immediately switch to the flat earth example. Earth is round, fact. Appears flat, which for me to walk on, important. Flat earth is important, huh? For you to walk, for you to put up a building. All that, flat earth is important. But flat earth is mithya, earth is round. So can you see, your mind will be able to hold that idea of something being important but mithya. And that's very important. Are you all getting what I am trying to say? Take the most important thing in your life, or something which is very important in your life, and accept the fact it is important in my life. Mother-son relationship, for example, mother-child relationship, very important. At any age, isn't it? At any age is important. Give it that importance. And say, this is mithya, applicable only in this lifetime. Before that, what we will be? After that, after this, what will we be? Give it the importance, recognize the mithyatva. Both. Otherwise, what you will do is, oh, these things are it's all mithya, but those important things will remain as satyam in your mind. Because subconsciously you will take the important things as real. And mithya will be reduced to rope snake. If we are talking about this body as mithya, what are you talking about anything? Now look at where the mithyatvam doesn't gel with people. Body is mithya, na? So, sometimes it doesn't function properly. You need a pair of some specs. Correct? So, wear specs, na? Swamiji, I like to wear my contact lenses. Why? क्या फर्क पड़ा यार? Contact lenses, isn't it uncomfortable beyond a few hours? Can't wear a contact lens the whole day. And who said you can't look good in glasses? Especially when it comes to the woman. So can you see there, where you say the body is mithya, but you can't accept this. All right, specs, it has been hanging around for a long time, so it's okay. What about hearing aid? If you require a hearing aid, you require glasses, you require a hearing aid. What's the big deal about it? No, I want invisible models. Samji, I cannot wear it in that pocket model. Yeah, I accept that. Why? Because you can't take your ears and put it in your pocket. That is the cheapest model, but that is not a very efficient model. So wear something behind the ears or whatever. But you want to hide it. Why? If you can wear specs, you can wear a hearing aid also. क्या फर्क पड़ा? No, Swamiji, I'll change my hairstyle a bit so that it is not seen hidden. Hey, my appearance is important, but it is mithya. Of course, appearance is important. If I were to come in front of you, like how I sometimes look in Rishikesh, when I was a student there, people wonder who is this character. Why? Because no grooming. Not that I groom too much, but at least I don't look like wild men of the hills. Yeah, I know your appearance is important, but mithya. Take both simultaneously. Otherwise, you will find it very difficult to move from that Satya Mithya thing. Because psychologically you will be dragged down. All the important things will become Satyam psychologically. Whereas when you take this stand, it's important, very important for me. My appearance is important. Yes, it's important. Accept it. That's a fact about yourself, your own psychological growth. Your appearance is important to you. Fine. No problems. But it is mithya. Take that equally valid. Because importance does not prove or make anything satyam. Importance is connected with your functioning. Your functioning is based on the mithya world. Don't be self-judgmental and say, oh, that's because I am vain. I have this friend. Okay. And like all Indians, being fair is important. I mean, she's around 60, so what do you expect? Old school like me. So we come and for a girl, fair is important. Okay. So she drives her own car. So when she's driving, sometimes the sun is there straight on you. So she'll take a dupatta or something and put it on her hands and everything and then try. I said, what are you doing? Swamiji, I'm so vain, I don't want to get tanned. I said, hey, stop judging yourself and criticizing yourself. You don't want to get tanned, that's a fact. Let it be. I don't want to get tanned. What's wrong in that? You don't have to judge yourself as I'm vain, things like that. Why? I don't want to get tanned. It's simple. In some places they want to get tanned. And some people don't want to get tanned. It's okay. What is important for you is important for you. But the whole thing is within the mithya world. Take it that way. Then you will find that the mithyatvam gets clearer and clearer. Because you are not compromising the importance in your functioning life. If you are going to compromise the importance in your functioning life, you will not be able to move towards the mithyatvam. Are you getting what I am trying to say? Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So this question is in Advaita or generally when the statement is given is that when the knowledge of Brahman arises, the world is sublated, right? Or that word is used or it disappears like a dream, etc. So one of the arguments counter to that is given is, since the Vedas are also part of the world, right? And if they also disappear, that means the very proof of Brahman disappears. And then if the proof is gone, how can the knowledge be sustained?
Because you are Brahman, you are always there. If you have that knowledge, it's always there. If you don't have the knowledge, it disappears. You have to get it until the next kalpa. Correct. Wait until the next cycle of creation for the Vedas to be manifest again. But you will remain as Brahman. That doesn't change. The world disappears. Fair enough. What is Brahman? Brahman is always there. That remains.
I think the argument they give is for that knowledge to be valid, the object of knowledge and the tools used to find it should maintain their reality.
The tools to find it, etc., is within the mithya world. Getting the knowledge is within the mithya world because avidya is within the mithya world. Avidya has to be negated in the mithya world, not with respect to satyam. So the tools also have to be in the mithya world. The tools cannot exist in satyam because satyam alone is there. You can't have satyam and the tools. You can't have satyam and the knowledge. All that will exist only in the Mithya world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it.
See, one of the other things they say is this anirvachaniya, right? This word where they say this is like some sort of a cop out. Anything you cannot explain, you put it in the anirvachaniya
No.
basket.
And yes, in one way, like Rajiv Malhotra says, and I agree with him, there are certain words that defy translation. Anirvachaniyam is one of those words. But Anirvachaniyam is not used on its own. To say something is Anirvachaniyam is a short form. The full thing is Sat Asadbhyam Anirvachaniyam. It is a description of the world that you encounter or Maya that you have. It is presented as Sat Asatbhyam Anirvachaniyam. Therefore, here Anirvachaniyam will be translated as something that cannot be categorized as Sat or Asat, as existing or non-existing. So, it's a technical word. Anirvachaniyam has to go around with Sat Asadbhyam Anirvachaniyam. That which cannot be categorized as Sat, real, or Asat, unreal, non-existing. Therefore, it is something in between. So, it's a technical expression. It has to be understood technically. Anirvachaniyam is not indescribable. We say Maya is in Anirvachaniyam and we describe a lot about it. So, to translate, that's why we are saying that they are not translatables in literal sense of the word. They have to be explained away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, same thing. That is true. Yeah, Ananta.
Pranam Swamiji, just a
Yeah.
clarification. When we say that avidya exists in the mithya world,
Yeah.
here in world means the lokas.
All the
because
locals, yes.
it-
14 dimensions. Yeah, all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then Anu has also raised her hand, I think.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Just a follow-up to
Yeah.
question to what you were saying. You made such an important point that we should see things that are important to us
Yeah.
as important and
Yeah.
as mithya. And should we simultaneously inquire into why we think they're so important? Like, will that slowly
Yeah. It can help.
help us?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can help. Why am I holding it so important? And how important it really is. Yeah.
Because ultimately, we have to come to the mithyatvam of
Correct.
even what is the most important thing to us, right?
Correct.
So that may be.
See,
Okay, thank you.
all Jivan Muktas very clearly know the Mithyatvam of the world. But all Jivan Muktas enjoy their tea or coffee, enjoy their bandaras. दयानंद आश्रम के भंडारा है तो जाना ही होगा. इम्पोर्टेंट है. दयानंद जैसे महाराज के आश्रम में भंडारा होता है तो जाना ही है. इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट. So can you see that even at that stage when you know the whole thing is mithya, certain things will be important. There's nothing wrong. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like I will take even national boundaries as mithya, which it is. But tomorrow if my country needs me, I am willing to be in the front at my age. Not a problem. Yeah. A time will come when you can drop your conditioning at will. You just preferences. Your conditioning has become a preference. What do you prefer, tea or coffee? That's the thing. गुजरात की महात्मा है तो चाय पिएगा, तमिलनाडु के है तो कॉफी पिएगा, पंजाब के है तो दूध पिएगा.
But that's an outcome of seeing this
Yeah.
mithyatvam.
Mithyatvam,
right?
because it doesn't matter then, na. See, if everything is mithya, does it really matter? See, you have to deal with the mithya world. Once you know the truth, I'm talking about after that, Jivan Mukti. Once you know the truth, you still have to deal with the mithya world as long as you're alive, no? So what does it matter? Really, what does it matter? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Like for example, I got a invite to go to Kailasa. I said, great. Kailas to go, great chance. Then they said, Swamiji, this year is very difficult to get a permission for you to go to Kailas. Because 70 plus, they are a bit hesitant this year because they are not sure of conditions. I said, no problems, nahi jayega. Farak kya pada? It's nice to go, take a bit of a headache, but okay. But fine, get a chance, you go. Not possible this year. Fine. Swamiji, next year we will see. I said, okay. Every year it will become more difficult, not less difficult. But this year the government is creating some issue, which on the Chinese government. Yeah. Okay, no problems. So look at it. Going to Kailasa is a great thing, no? Kailas Mansarovar is a great thing. नहीं मिला है ठीक है. It's important. It's all part of the mithya world anyway. Kailashanti iti Kailasaha. It's a word for consciousness actually. So you have to deal with the mithya world, deal with it whatever necessary. Important, not important. The whole world gets reduced to preferences once you know the truth. Yeah, it just gets reduced to preferences. Or kya? Not ragadveshas, preferences. And that preferences is good to have some preferences. Why? Then you'll make a choice. Otherwise, you put your host in difficulty. Swamiji, what will you have, tea or coffee? Whatever. Now the host has to decide for you. Mushkil hai. So I'll generally say, hey, what is easier? What are you all having? And then I go with that. Or I decide depending upon the cultural context of where I am. South Indian homes, coffee. Gujarat homes, Gujarat, Maharashtra, etc., tea. Never have coffee in a Maharashtrian this thing. They'll put lavang in it and give it to you.
But Swamiji is saying that there is an entire Dharma Shastra on how to live life, like, no?
Agreed.
And a big part of Veda is about rituals.
Correct.
And so, like, it's so huge, that part also.
Why? Because you need to understand the truth. To understand the truth, you need a certain maturity. To need a certain maturity, you need to live a life properly. Therefore, you need guidances, etc. Because human beings are given a huge amount of freedom. The freedom of choice. In fact, if you really recognize the freedom that you have, it's almost scary. You can do and be anything you want. You are limited only by your belief systems. So that freedom requires to be guided a bit, has some parameters. Therefore, Dharma Shastra, all that thing came into the picture. Just to put some, the rushing torrent of water, have some banks. So you needed that because what is life meant for? Growth. So is growth possible? So for growth you always need a structure. Freedom has to be there plus structure has to be there. Both has to be there for growth. It's like bringing up a child. You give unfettered freedom, you're creating a brat. You don't give any freedom and control everything, you're creating either a rebellious kid or a very, very, very submissive kid. Both are a problem. So you need that balance. So Dharma Shastra plays that role of creating a balance. That's what it actually creates. It is not about rules and regulations, though some rules are presented, but it's always presented with the conditioning. Dharma depends upon time, place, circumstances, age, condition of life, stage of life, etc. Then they make all the rules. That means anything and everything is subject to change. Because you need to grow to understand the truth. Without growth, how are you going to understand the truth? Look at it. If I am held down in a system, I can't see the mithyatvam of it. I have to grow enough to function independently in that system to be able to see the mithyatvam of it. That's why people who make 365 rules for living, their day-to-day life, they are not going to understand Vedanta. So everything they have. And that comes for all other disciplines, like astrology, for example. Important for big decisions, etc. But if you are going to take Rahu Kalam, Yama Kanda, everything to account, what all is there in day to day? Rahu Kalam, Yama Kandam, and there's something else. Huh? Guligai. After all this, what is your slot available for functioning? Going out of the whole Yama Kalam, hey, come on, yaar. If you're starting something important, okay. I was tomorrow for having a cup of coffee, you'll say, Yamakalam hai, where do you end up? So, things are important. Give it the importance it deserves. Don't let it go haywire. Don't let it rule your life. Important means important to you. It is meant for you. You are not meant for that. Yeah.
I think the other thing is in the earlier ages, people used to go through this karma yoga and then come to jnana yoga.
Yeah.
Now, because of internet and all that, you are directly getting tattvamasi first, but all your emotional and mental and
All that baggage is still there, exactly.
still
Correct.
there. So you are not able to actually appreciate
Correct.
what you do.
Correct. You're right. People have to realize that Google is not God. Google cannot be Guru. Hey, let me see what it says about Avastatraya. I'll guarantee you 50% of what it says will be wrong. Anyway, that's that. So think about those things and then, okay. Then he makes a very important point here in the next one. Na bhavati amrutyam martyaha, na martyam amrutam tatha, prakritehi anyatha bhavaha, na katinchad bhavishyati. Na bhavati amrutam martyam. The immortal, what is free from time, cannot become under time. Martyaha, it cannot become. Similarly, what is in time cannot become immortal, free from time. Can you see the repercussions of it and modern Vedanta? That which is beyond the mind, this, that, etc., is becoming the creation. If you remove Maya from it, where is the creation? You are saying Amrutam becomes Martyam. And Martyam will become immortal by transcending everything. The Martya becomes Amrutam by transcending. Big problem. I mean, क्या बात कर रहा है? How can the mortal transcend its mortality? If it is a mortal, remain a mortal. I mean, you can give beautiful examples. Like a pole vaulter comes running and puts the pole into the ground, and he goes beyond the pole, leaves the pole behind, and he goes on the other side. Ah, great. Example is good. Connect up now. Who is going beyond? Atma need not go beyond because already beyond. Mind cannot go beyond because mind is a pole you are living behind. Then in between, who is going beyond? The Jiva. Jiva is Atma or not the Atma? If it is not the Atma, it cannot go beyond. If it is Atma, it need not go beyond. Ahankara. If Ahankara is the Atma, it need not go beyond. If Ahankara is not the Atma, it cannot go beyond. Now, who is going beyond? Tell me. Example दे सकते हैं. You can put a nice air and talk about everything. But where? Swamiji, you are criticizing your grand guru. No, I had a talk with him about it. He said, this is all my hawking of Vedanta in the marketplace. This is not the truth. This is not the Shastra. So he said it very clearly.
The essential nature of a thing cannot change.
Exactly. That's exactly what he's saying. By saying, Prakritehe anyatha bhavaha na kachintit bhavishyati. Prakritehe, what is natural for you? Anyatha bhavaha, becoming something else. Na katinchit bhavishyati. Fire cannot become cold. Simple as that. Ice cannot become hot. Its own essential nature will continue to be its essential nature. What's intrinsic will always remain intrinsic. Extrinsic qualities can come and go. That's external. Because of some reason it has come. Like water is room temperature, always. Now it's hot because you applied some heat. It's cold because you put into a refrigerator to remove the heat. So that is extrinsic qualities. Intrinsic is what its true nature is. That will never change. The true nature of a thing can never change. So now decide, mortal or immortal. And the problem in Vedanta is not changing of the intrinsic nature. The immortal appearing as a mortal. Therefore, the need to rediscover its own true nature as immortal. Under delusion. Yeah, if it changes, it cannot be finite, infinite also. Correct? Therefore, if it is infinite, it cannot change. If it is finite, it can never become infinite. But what is happening here? The infinite is appearing as a finite. The infinite consciousness is appearing as a human being.
Can we say it is infinitely changing?
Infinitely changing is an expression. It's not literal infinite. That's like saying, how many stars are there in the sky? Oh, infinite. Meaning countless. It's just an expression. It's not to be taken literal. How many gallons of water in the ocean? Oh, infinite. Just an expression, not really infinite. Infinite means not conditioned by time and space. That is not true as far as the water in the ocean is concerned. It's what you call an functional infinity, like, you're talking about infinity without really being infinity. Yeah. So,
It's a mathematical infinity.
yeah, mathematical concept, yes. Therefore, the intrinsic, here what is happening is, the infinite is appearing as a finite. And caught up in the appearance, struggles with the finite experiences. Therefore, needs to rediscover its own infinite nature. That's what Vedanta is about. not the finite becoming infinite or infinite becoming finite. The infinite appearing as a finite, caught up in its finitude, needs to rediscover its own true nature as infinite. Therefore, even when you are in your worst samsaric problems, when physically you are down, emotionally you are down, intellectually you are confused, okay, subconscious issues are coming, in all that state you are really speaking limitless consciousness, free from all that. But you caught up in all this. Therefore, you need to discover what you really are. That is knowledge. And that knowledge has to take place in our mind. So, being caught up in that finite things creates certain issues for your mind. The experiences that you go through, of course, exaggerated in today's world. Oh, I'm traumatized. You were in hospital and came out, na? I was so traumatized by that experience. That's now linguistically overdoing that. Someone else, yaar, there hospital gaya, 2 दिन आराम करके बाहर आ गया. Now that may be underplaying it too much also. So say, no, I had some issues in the hospital and I came out. I'm okay for now.
Swamiji?
Yeah?
Sorry. Here, Prakriti, we should take it as an intrinsic nature.
Which one?
Because Prakriti.
Prakriti, yeah. You can take it
nature.
Intrinsic nature.
Prakriti anyata bhavana bhavishyati.
Yeah. Because the intrinsic nature cannot change.
Yeah, correct. Because when you say Prakriti, immediately we take the other.
That's the conditioning that happens because of words. Yes. That's the tyranny of words. Prakriti means it has to be Maya. No.
Then it doesn't sit into this.
Yeah, correct. Now look at it. When I'm coming back to the thing, the question is, because of certain experiences and the impact that has had on my mind, I have to deal with that mind. Free that mind from all those psychological issues. That's intelligent living, growing out of it. Everything comes into the picture. Your karma yoga, your lifestyle, understanding of dharma, therapy also if necessary. Whatever you need to do, you do. Yeah, 100 years back, where were the therapists? Why? You are an older, wiser uncle to talk to. You are an older, wiser aunt to talk to. You are a family guru to talk to. You always had someone to talk to and handle this. No? Nowadays we don't have it, so we have to pay a therapist for all that. Which is fine, not an issue, because our lives are such, nobody has time to listen to your issues. So whatever necessary you do to get over those emotional things. And once you have got over that, the truth will be clear, the teaching. So if you have been listening and the truth is not clear, see where the issues are. What is the psychological thing that is dragging you down? Number one. Or if psychological issues are handled, this fact about importance and mithya. How much you are caught up in your identities. Having identities is okay because that's how you function. But being caught up in it, yeah, identities are functioning. No? The roles you play, that's okay. No big deal. But being caught up in it is an issue. It becoming me is an issue. So that is it. And once that is done, you recognize the infinite appearing as a finite is now rediscovering its own nature as being infinite. That's it. Okay. Okay, this has got some more verses on that, but good place to stop. Okay, we can see more of it next class. Om Tat Sat.